I don't know if I bumped the recording button or what, but it decided to stop. That's okay, that got wordy. So a little bit of ice here. Nothing slippery, it's kind of textured stuff, but I wondered what I'd, encounter out here, especially once you disappear into the darkness of the trees that's down here. But really, I just don't think anywhere got enough snow to make much ice or hang around anything except for river and creek ice. Look at that nasty thing. Yeepers. Now that's why I'm wearing these sweatpants today. The extra layer. Boy, I got poked in the leg climbing those rocks the other day. And I thought, good chance I encounter some thorns today, so. Heard a jet just all of a sudden light up this little rocky canyon here. Now that's one thing that's definitely changed. Boy, a whole bunch of trees have blown over here. Gosh. That's why I was thinking if there'd be any over the road, but there's always been some amount of trees blown over, but these aren't blown over, they're just leaning into that rock. But the whole hillside here, I think at least a few of those are fresh from the wind we had. This one isn't. I remember it being here before. I thought sometimes when we come out here, you'd have the ice, up to this height, 2 feet above, encompassing everything around here. Just a big iced donut frozen creek. But not this time. Alright, I gotta strap my backpack in. Can't be swinging around so much when I gotta do a little bit more heavy lifting with my legs down here. Help keep my weighted pockets close to me too. Oh, I'm just tickled the sun's shining back here though. What do we have here? Oh, you see a flow there under the ice? A couple of them where you can see it. A little exposed water coming out there. I thought this looked like a puddle here. It's gotten on top of the ice. It just made a little puddle. It probably refreezes every night and thaws out in the day. Glassy looking. You don't find a whole lot of that except for where it'll do that, where it'll dam up or puddle and freeze and get real glassy on top. Like that one part down by the Happy Flat. Ooh. Gnarly. They're mostly dead. That wouldn't break off very easily. Okay, now we're encountering some snow. I'd rather be in some dark hollow where the sun don't ever shine than to be home alone, knowing that you're gone. Coffee to ease what's left of my mind. Well, this just kind of keeps going a lot further than I remember. I thought it was a short jaunt from the bottom over there. Yeah, and I remember this part where you have the tree section cut out. We're almost there. It feels different through here because of the lack of vegetation. I've come back here for the Roaring Creek, I think, a lot more times than I've come back for the Frozen Creek. This is just an inlet over here. Tarryall Creek slices right through the bottom of all that stuff from way up top, where I have the time lapse running earlier, to down here at the creek. It's the same little nook, same canyon. See, it's like a carpet of dead sticks. Where'd this guy come from? Huh. It's a neat little winding path that gets down there. You can hear the creek moving, so there can't be that much ice. I also didn't realize that much sun got in here. Maybe that's a December thing, because I think you come here, in the summertime, and it's a lush green, dark jungle thing. Well, look at this. That's new. Okay. Where did it come from? Over here. Snapped at the base, looks like. See the earth still connected to it. Where'd it come from? Oh, right there. Duh. Immediately right there. And I think this one was already there, but the combination of the two make it a little tricky out here. Stay put. As long as they ain't thorns. Okay, I can squeeze through this. Just barely. Oh, okay. I gotta do a little finagling here. Alright, I'm just gonna jump. It's clear. I'm not gonna snag a branch. Well, the first look at the creek there, and it's pretty frozen where it's still. Two ways down. I remember this one being a little easier. Same thing, you just jump. That might prove a little more interesting on the way back, but tiny bit of shoreside ice. You know, before I go to that part, I want to walk over to this low where it comes through and just see how it. So we got puddles, and it's running on top of the ice there. You can still hear it over there. Yeah, I don't know, I could get across, but not much you can get to. I've got my underwater camera in the pack, but I think the better chance for doing that is up that way. I'm kind of bummed that this is a lake here, though. I was kind of hoping it would at least be frozen enough, like, to walk over there. This looks a little stronger right here, but I don't know about over here. I don't know, it just looks so rotten right there. Is there a rock? Toss a rock out there. No, that's stuck. I think most of these rocks have been tossed. I'll just walk down here and see if there's a better way to stick it over there. I do not want to walk all soaking wet back where I came from. Definitely down in the hollow. Not quite so dark of a hollow, but definitely down in the hollow. That's very cool. I can get kind of close to it. I want to get a good video of the 360 camera stuck right in that stuff. Jack, be nimble. Jack, be quick. Jack, don't fall in the fucking creek. Oh yeah, we're over here. The extendo post smells like fishy river water. I guess it was in the creek last, this very creek last. You gotta think about that. In fact, I don't remember which it was in last. Always makes me curious what you can see later looking at the video when I sink it down and stuff like that. Well, I guess I'll make this be a part 2, and part 3 I'll see if I can wedge this camera up somewhere and